Making the headlines during the past week, government revealed it purchased controlling shares in Domelec for 13.5 million EC dollars. The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season officially began, and CIBC First Caribbean Workers embark on industrial action. I'm Christina Joseph. The details when we return.
DBS Radio now brings to you professional and quality live streaming services for all your funerals, special occasions, and events. Contact us today at 448-3282 or 448-3283 or email us at dbsradio@cwdom.dm. DBS Radio, your new era in broadcasting. Contact us today.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced that government paid 13.5 million EC dollars to take over 51.9% of Domelec's shares on April 1, 2022, putting at ease questions which were raised over the share purchase price. Mr. Skerrit told Parliament last Monday the amount was confirmed after negotiations between the government of Dominica and Emera Incorporated.
Mr. Speaker, Emera proposed to sell the shares at a market price listed for Domelec shares on the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange, which is EC $3.50 per share. At that price, Mr. Speaker, government would have had to pay a total of EC $18.9 million for these shares. However, we are happy to report to the House and the people of Dominica that following months of intense and cordial negotiations, that government purchased the shares at a total of US $5 million, or EC $13.5 million.
Meantime, Prime Minister Skerrit encouraged the Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, to speed up the tariff review exercise at Domelec. The IRC and Domelec began a tariff review exercise in April. Tamar Winston of the Newtown Primary School was announced winner of the Duwasco Essay Primary School competition. The competition was among activities to commemorate Duwasco's Water Week under the theme Groundwater, Making the Invisible Visible. Malisha Seja of the Wharton Waven Primary School topped the poster competition, while in the secondary school essay competition, Mia Didier of the St. John's Academy placed first. Michael Charles and Deshaun Dennis won the debate competition for the Dominica State College, while Ronisha Wiley won Best Speaker during the debate. And construction on the world's longest cable car could begin in the Roseau Valley later this year. Minister for Tourism Dennis Charles said the cable car will take visitors to the Boiling Lake and will be a major tourist attraction site.
This project is being done by ABL Holdings, and the government has a 15% stake in this project. Currently, we're in the first phase. We have done consultation with the people of the Roseau Valley, the first round of consultation. We expect to do a second round soon, and we are also conducting the feasibility studies, including the environmental impact studies for this project, and finalizing negotiations with landowners. You expect to see many more people visit the Boiling Lake, so people will go there. They will need tour operators because every cable car will be expected to have a tour operator on board.
The cable car construction project is expected to cost $54 million. Meantime, a communications agency was contracted to promote Dominica as a destination of choice for the United States and Canadian markets. According to reports from the Discover Dominica Authority, representatives of the Zappawater Communications Agency recently met with officials of DDA to discuss new and innovative ways to promote the Nature Isle. The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season officially started last Wednesday, and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit cautioned Dominicans to complete preparations and not take the season lightly. The prediction is for an above-normal season with 14 to 21 named storms, 6 to 10 hurricanes, of which 3 to 6 can be major hurricanes. Meantime, local government commissioner Glenroy Tousse said Dominican communities are better prepared for this year's Atlantic hurricane season.
And I can safely say that so far we have trained well over 260 people in the communities. And those persons I referred to earlier with regards to disaster management committees, the local authorities, the village councils and otherwise. And what we've noticed, though, we've noticed a strengthening. We've seen a strengthening of the number of disaster management committees at the community level. For the more vulnerable communities, we have completed all the community disaster plans. So these communities, the plans are completed for those communities and have been shared with the community. That is very important. Oftentimes, we do intervention in communities and the wider community is not aware of those interventions. And so importantly, those disaster management plans have been shared with the community. I want, of course, to inform the listening public that we also have an intensive program with the city of Roseau, where we are currently implementing a Roseau City initiative.
Operations at CIBC First Caribbean were disrupted as employees embarked on industrial action last Friday. Stephen Lander, country manager of CIBC First Caribbean, spoke to DBS News.
CIBC First Caribbean is disappointed to learn of the industrial action taken today by its employees in Dominica. The bank is committed to working out an amicable solution to the issues raised by our employees through their union. But given the fact that our discussions with our employees' representatives are ongoing, we are unable to comment on any substantive issues at this time. The bank continues to abide by the tenets that form the foundation of its Partnership Principles Agreement with the unions in each of its regional jurisdictions, and this commitment remains its priority. We apologize to our clients for the disruption of services that this action has caused.
A strike by fishermen in Guadeloupe affected ferry services to and from Dominica. Fishermen said the increase in gas prices was preventing them from going out to sea. Managing Director of HHV Research and Company, Gary Ed, said last Friday the parties concerned were attempting to bring the situation under control.
Yeah, we were informed by the operators of the ferry service in Guadeloupe, that's Mr. Roland Belma, that everybody knows, that there were a number of fishing vessels that were blocking the entry to the ports of Pointe-à-Pitre in Guadeloupe and Marie-Galante, thereby preventing the ferries from leaving or entering. We understand it is due to the fishermen's annoyance with the increase in fuel prices, which will affect them in their business. As far as I know, that is the position. I was told that they are attempting to have some sort of meeting with the fishermen to see if the fishermen would at least allow the ferries to travel. Unfortunately, it's affecting a lot of people. We have some 58 people supposedly coming in from Guadeloupe this morning, and we have coincidentally the same number leaving to go down to Martinique. So you can imagine it's affecting a lot of people and their livelihoods. I'm hoping that there will be some sort of meeting, and that meeting will in fact bring some sort of sense, and there will be a decision to allow life to return to normal.
On the 43rd anniversary of disturbances in Roseau, which led to the death of a young man named Philip Timothy outside the government headquarters, a former high-ranking member of the Domelec Defense Force broke his silence. Captain Malcolm Reed was a guest on last Sunday's Discoveries, where he denied allegations the Defense Force was responsible for the fatality that day.
Are we talking 303 yet?
No, we're not talking 303 yet. We're not talking 9mm, we're not talking 7.62. That is what we had on the day. We didn't have the little 32 that killed the man. That bullet was meant for somebody else, for one of us.
So when you say it was meant for one of you all, any one of you all were close to Philip Timothy on the day that he fell?
No, man. No.
So why would you make that statement?
Because why shoot him? At who you pointing the weapon?
More news highlights after the break.
DBS Radio now brings to you professional and quality live streaming services for all your funerals, special occasions, and events. Contact us today at 448-3282 or 448-3283 or email us at dbsradio@cwdom.dm. DBS Radio, your new era in broadcasting. Contact us today.
Welcome back. A 56-year-old contractor moving Defoe of Forceja, who resided at Grand Bay, fell 30 feet to his death from the fourth floor of a four-story building at Highland in Grand Bay last Tuesday afternoon while working on the building's decking. According to a report from Assistant Superintendent of Police Leanna Edwards, Defoe was found by a colleague who was working on another section of the building after it was noticed that he was missing. Assistant Superintendent Edwards did say that police are conducting investigations into his death. Police also called on members of the public to be on the lookout for a French citizen with Dominican citizenship who escaped police custody on May 26 at Point Round, where he was apprehended and the vehicle he was driving searched. According to Assistant Police Commissioner Davidson Valerie, the man Alvin Linroy Barron may be armed and dangerous.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is in search of one Alvin Linroy Barron, French citizen residing in Guadeloupe. Barron is also a citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica by descent. On Thursday, May 26, 2022, Barron fled from the police during an exercise mounted by the police at Point Rong along the Eau-Leblanc Highway. During a search of Barron's rented vehicle by the police, one AK-47 rifle with a magazine containing 30 rounds of 7.62 ammunition, one 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 9 rounds of 9mm ammunition, one plastic bag containing 9 rounds of 7.62 ammunition, and 9 rounds of 9mm ammunition were found. The firearms and ammunition, along with the RAV4 vehicle that Barron was driving, have been seized and kept in police custody. Barron is 5 feet 8 inches, fair in complexion, has brown eyes and carries black locks. Barron is known to be involved in serious criminal activities and is believed to be armed and dangerous. Anyone having information that could assist with the arrest of Alvin Linroy Barron is asked to contact the police at telephone numbers 266-5165, 266-5164, 266-5117, or call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-4468 or 1-800-8477.
Anyone with information concerning the whereabouts of Alvin Linroy Barron is asked to contact the police on 266-5165, 266-5164, 266-5117, or Crime Stoppers Dominica on 1-800-4468 or 1-800-8477. And in news from the courts, a Dominican artist was arrested and charged in connection with sexual-related offenses. He was released on $25,000 bail after the charges were read to him at the magistrate's court last Thursday. His bail conditions include reporting to the police station once a week. He is to return to court in September 2022. Dominica's Sexual Offences Act prohibits DBS News from identifying the accused or virtual complainant in the matter. And moving on now to some highlights from last week's third meeting of the second session of the 10th Parliament. The resolution to give government permission to borrow $81 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank for Dominica's COVID-19 response and recovery was passed last Monday evening. While introducing the resolution, Trade Minister Ian Douglas revealed government's expenditure towards COVID-19 was over $37 million. The other resolution passed last Monday gave government access to $54 million from the International Development Association for emergencies. Meantime, the Virtual Asset Business Bill was also passed. Dominica joined 2 other Eastern Caribbean Currency Union members who have passed this bill. The bill was presented by Minister for Planning and Economic Development, Dr. Vince Henderson. Opposition Senator Clement Malser supported this Virtual Asset Business Bill. and a landmark agreement to pay elected members from the day after general elections by members of Parliament was also passed. Speaker of the House of Assembly Joseph Isaac said the matter was first taken up by former Prime Minister Edison James and the former Tourism Minister Norris Prevost, who made a case for compensation. Since independence in 1978, the salaries of elected members will be calculated from after they took their oath of office. This decision will mean that some elected members will be compensated. A new executive was elected to serve on the Kalinago Youth Council for a one-year term during the 2022 Kalinago Youth Assembly last weekend.
Sitting on that council, we now have representatives from each Kalinago hamlet. Our President, Julia Cyril, Vice President, Adicia Burton, Secretary, Sharissa Helma, Treasurer, Edgar Harris, Assistant Secretary, Treasurer, Wanu Joseph, Public Relations Officer, Giselle Francis, Events Coordinator, Christy Star August, and our differently abled representative, Ricky Barry.
The National Youth Council of Dominica affirmed its support to the revival of the Kalinago Youth Council. President of the NYCD, Ashma McDougall, said the Kalinago Youth Council is critical for the development of the Kalinago territory. Dominica could have a new political party contest the next general elections. Team Unity Dominica was recently established and registered as a political party in Dominica. According to a press release, the founded board comprised of Alex Bruno, General Secretary, Carlos Charles, Deputy General Secretary, Kendra Stephen, Executive President, and Kenton Seja and Erwin Emmanuel. An official launch is being planned for August 2022 in the village of Calibishi. Cadas music icon Gordon Henderson wants UNESCO to recognize Dominica's Cadas music. Cadas Lipso Month will be observed in July, and the Exile One lead singer told Creole Heartbeat last Wednesday the matter needs to be taken to UNESCO.
We would really want the month to appeal to the authorities to get UNESCO to recognize Cadas Lipso as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. I repeat, let's get UNESCO to recognize Cadas Lipso as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And this has been done with a number of other musical genres that have had less impact across the globe than Cadas Lipso. We need that.
Cadas Lipso Month will be observed with several activities to include a tribute concert to recognize the contribution of Midnight Groovers, the late Jeff Joseph, and keyboardist Fitzroy Williams. And we now join Leila Langford with this evening's entertainment segment, where the offstage accomplishment of one of Dominica's biggest stars takes center stage. Leila.
Sheldon Shelley Alfred is more than just a former junior calypso monarch turned bouyon artist. He is now the holder of a master's degree. He recently graduated from the Harvard University Graduate School of Design with a master's degree on May 26. Shelley told DBS News, with this accomplishment, he has broken barriers.
That's all for us on this evening's DBS Week in Review. For more news, log on to our website, www.dbcradio.net. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On behalf of the entire team here at DBS, I'm Krishina Joseph. Good evening.
DBS Radio now brings to you professional and quality live streaming services for all your funerals, special occasions, and events. Contact us today at 448-3282 or 448-3283 or email us at dbsradio@cwdom.dm. DBS Radio, your new era in broadcasting. Contact us today.